Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, does Kawhi Leonard need to be more like Michael Jordan? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be sure to check out our Dreamerspro podcast that we have linked in the description below. And also be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro premium platform that we're launching in the first week of January. So be on the lookout for that, but we'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, let me get back into the topic here. And I think I was actually thinking about this topic late last night. And I said to myself, okay, this could be a pretty interesting topic here for some of the viewers. We try to make content that you guys would like, but also that could reach a wider audience. So if you guys enjoy the video, be sure to share it with whoever you think will enjoy. But anyway, let me just get into the content here. The real reason Kawhi Leonard needs to be more like Michael Jordan. Now, First thing I want to address is Kawhi Leonard needs to address his willingness to accept the fact that he's the best player in that team. And one of our viewers yesterday made a very good point when he pointed out something that I'd heard but I completely forgot about, which was something that Shaquille O'Neal mentioned during the offseason when he was talking about, I think when they were trying to assess what happened with the Clippers and how they kind of fell apart. And he spoke about why he thought. I'm not gonna upload that here because it's not necessary. I can just tell you what he said. He spoke about why he thought that they should move Paul George. He said they don't need to have a player that believes that he's the number one guy when he's playing alongside a number one guy, right? And he was like, they need to move him because Kawhi Leonard is the number one guy on that team, but Paul George believes he's the number one guy. Those were Shaq's sort of thoughts, and that was his recommendation. But I want to take it a step further. The reason why I think Kawhi Leonard worked very well with the Toronto Raptors was that it was clear that he was the best player in that team. It was clear that he was the best player in that team. I don't know if it was Masai Ujiri. I don't know if it was Nick Nurse. I don't know if it was the whole organization. But everyone in that organization understood that, listen, this guy that's replacing DeMar DeRozan can put us over the top. So we need to let him do his thing. If you guys watch some of the series that he played last 2 years ago, you would notice that there were games Kawhi Leonard would take close to 30 shots, those games, right? It was clear that he was the man. He was the one leading the charges down the stretch. And he showed that if you made him the man, he could deliver in a major way and in a consistent manner. But when he came to play with the Clippers, some people, or for whatever reason, yes, Paul George is very talented. Paul George can score and all of these different things. But somewhere in that, it kind of got lost. We kind of got lost in this thing of, well, they're equals. When in reality, they're not. Kawhi Leonard is a better player than Paul George. He's a better defensive player. He's a more efficient offensive player. Paul George, it looks like he scores easily, but Kawhi Leonard actually scores. Kawhi Leonard scores at a much more efficient rate. It's just that Kawhi Leonard doesn't shoot so much. If Kawhi Leonard had the mentality of a Jordan or Kobe on offense, he would average over 30 points every single year because he has the efficiency to do it. MJ shot close to 50% for his career. He shot 50% multiple times in his career, right? So MJ wasn't just a great scorer. He was also very, very, very efficient, just like Kevin Durant. That's why, and you know, I'm not saying that I should be on TV or anything like this, but that's why when you hear Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless going, argue with each other sometimes about scoring, and Skip Bayless says, well, Kevin Durant is a better scorer, and Shannon Sharpe says, but they have the same career average. If Skip, I don't know if it's Skip Bayless because of age, but if Skip Bayless was nimble enough on his feet, he would say to him, so Shannon Sharpe, if you're saying that Kevin Durant and LeBron James are equals when it comes to scoring, so you're telling me that just because Russell Westbrook averaged 30 points a game last season, he's a better scorer than KD? Russell Westbrook's averaged more points than Kevin Durant, I believe it was last season, or some years. Is he a better scorer than KD? Obviously not. Kevin Durant doesn't shoot a lot. That's all. If KD decided that he wanted to shoot a lot, KD led the league in scoring 4 times. If he made it up in his mind that he wanted to average 30 points every single year for his career, he can do that shooting close to 50% from the field easily. So that's something that people need to understand. Just because Paul George averaged 28 points per game last season does not mean he's a better scorer than Kawhi Leonard. It just means that he shoots more, but the efficiency is not there. And one would assume the player that's more efficient, if he shot more and his efficiency probably dropped a little bit, he would average a lot. That's why Kawhi Leonard averaged 30 points per game in the playoffs last season, shooting like 49% from the field. 49% in the playoffs, averaging 30.5 points per game. So that's something that needs to be kind of that's something that needs to be kind of said. Now, another reason why I think Kawhi Leonard really needs to address the fact and just take ownership of the fact that, yes, I'm the best player in the world, is that that's something that MJ did all the time. MJ did that all the time. Another thing MJ would do is that he would chew out his teammates when things didn't go right. You guys saw the Last Dance documentary. Michael Jordan is notorious for this, right? A lot of people say he was a bully, he was a bad guy, he would talk down to people. Guess what? That got you 6 rings. I'm not saying you need to demean your teammates, because I think some of those Clipper players are mentally tough enough, and they're very some of them are aggressive enough to be able to deal with tough trash talk, right? But there's nothing wrong with getting in your teammates' faces and say, hey, man, you blew it, right? He needs to be able to hold guys accountable and stop feeling like, okay, man, I know we got to pull it on. It's okay to call a dude out if it's for the betterment of the team. Jordan, if you listen to The Last Dance and all of his teammates, all of them said everything about him, but the one thing they all said was, he did that because he wanted the best from us, and he got those results. Whether or not you didn't like the way he did it, it was effective. It is known to work. Kobe did the same thing. These are two guys that had basically the same type of leadership styles, and that just accounted for 11 championship rings. Now, obviously, it's not just that, because the players they play with also make a difference, but you understand what I'm saying. Now, let's take it a step further. We made a video yesterday addressing the fact why Kawhi Leonard cannot afford to make the mistake of feeling like at the end of games is your shot, my shot, your shot, my shot. I think that cannot happen. Let me take it a step further. If you guys saw the Last Dance documentary, do you remember in the final episode, I think it was episode 6, in the final sequence of Michael Jordan's 6th NBA title playing against the Utah Jazz, if you guys remember clearly enough what happened in that sequence, they were interviewing 3 people: Phil Jackson, Dennis Rodman, and Scottie Pippen. Those were the 3 main guys that were being interviewed in that segment alongside Michael Jordan. And when they were talking about that last sequence, what happened? MJ came from the weak side. Karl Malone thought that he cleared. He didn't clear. He came back, smacked the ball out of his hand, got the steal, right? And they slowed that time sequence down, and you can see Phil Jackson talking about, I didn't want to take any timeouts. I didn't want to give the defense time to set. Jordan looked over at Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson didn't say anything, which I think he meant to just, create something on the fly. We're not going to give them time to prepare by calling a timeout. But do you guys remember something that was said by Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen? What did they say? Dennis Rodman said, when I saw MJ coming down the court with the ball, I ran directly under the rim. Why did he do that? He said, because there's no way in the world he's going to pass this mother. You know what he said. Scottie Pippen said, they asked him, what were you thinking at that point? He said, to get the hell out the way. Everyone in that arena knew that Jordan was taking that shot. But most importantly, the team had already bought into the fact that, number 1, he is the best player. Number 2, he is our best option. And number 3, we're not on his level. Some Clipper players, I believe, feel that they're on Kawhi Leonard's level. It's on him and the team to let them know, like, bro, no, you're not. I'm the only one here walking around with jewelry. I'm the only one here that has 2 final MVP trophies. 2. I'm the only one here that if I invite you to my house, I can show you my trophies. So we're not on the same level. And it's no disrespect. It's understanding what you have and letting that thing that you have, just sort of blossom and take control of the team. Everyone knew that. But in Clippers games, too many times, I felt like Lou Williams thought he was Jordan. I felt like Paul George thought he was Jordan. I felt like Kawhi Leonard at the time thought he was Jordan. Whereas Kawhi needs to make it clear, like, I'm the man on this team, right? Draw inspiration from MJ. Say whatever you want to say about Michael Jordan. Jordan was a flat out winner. And when you talk about his sort of the time frame of his dominance, it's like nothing we've seen apart from maybe a Bill Russell. It's like nothing we have seen, like nothing. Once Jordan figured it out and he got another All-Star, it was over. It was over for the league. Literally, it was over, right? That's all he needed was another All-Star and a fantastic coach, and it was over. So that's the one thing I think Kawhi Leonard needs to adopt more of. The leadership style of Jordan, say whatever you want, but it works. I'm not saying treat people bad, but hold people accountable and let them know if you mess up, I'm going to chew you out, right? I'm going to chew you out. There has to be some type of accountability on the team. It's not like, okay, we blew that assignment or we blew this play. Oh, okay, it's over. Let's just move on, right? That's the one thing I enjoyed about Jordan. And to some extent, that's one thing that Kobe had too. Kobe, ran a tight ship, man. Kobe didn't play around, but guess what? All of his teammates respected Kobe and the entire league respected Kobe because he got the results. And Kobe wasn't afraid. Like, he was all about winning, and he made it clear. I'm here to win. I'm beginning to see a little bit of that I'm starting to see a little bit of that in him now that he's becoming a little bit more vocal. But overall, man, Kawhi Leonard needs to watch The Last Dance, man. Jordan got it. That's the thing you need to emulate. You don't necessarily need to be a nice guy. It works for LeBron and some other players, but that's the type of attitude you need to sort of adopt and understand you're the best player on that team. And I don't even think it's close. Yeah, Paul George is the second best, but the question is, does Paul George know that? Right? Does Lou Williams know that? So for me, that's something I'm just going to keep hammering on, because if they do that, it will work, because it already has worked before in the past. So it's not like as if I'm trying to make a recommendation for something that never worked. This has worked. So anyway, I don't want to talk too long. Anyway, what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Kawhi Leonard needs to be more like Jordan? Now, some of you guys may say, well, there's no way he can play like Jordan. He kind of can. He kind of can. Him and Jordan have similar, he kind of can. Like, Jordan for his career averaged 30 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists. And Jordan averaged, like, shooting 50% from the field a lot of his career. Like, a lot. One season he averaged 46, 48, 49, 49, 50, 53, 52, 53. That's Jordan. But if you look at Kawhi Leonard's numbers, he shot that type of field goal percentage for his career. If I look 47, 49, 47, 48, 50, 48, 50, 49, 49. So, it's kind of there. So anyway, whatever you guys think, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoy the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be sure to check out some of our other videos. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of our other videos on the channel. I'm sure you guys would enjoy it. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.